Well, hello friends, it's Wayne Polson once again, right here at Heartwood, right next door to SM Heartland. It's a ritual, isn't it? Every video starts off this way. Old habits die really hard, don't they? Folks, listen, I've been asked by Endurance Lights to put up yet another installation video. They're not paying me for this. It's not a promotional thing at all. It's just that they did send me a light, and I thought, well, out of appreciation, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up. I need to put a light up anyway, because over here in the garage, we did have a light mounted above this right-hand door, but I took that down to illuminate the woodshed a couple of months ago. I intend to put one back up there, but right now what I want to do is I want to go to the left-hand garage door. I want to put a 120 watt light there. And the reason I want to do that is because our chicken coop is right next to that door. And we've had a lot of predators. I would really like to get some better illumination in that area. So that's the plan for today. So let's get right down to it, shall we? All right, folks. So one of the things that I don't think I've really emphasized in my previous videos on these lights is that you have to have this solar panel facing the sun for about 6 to 8 hours before you intend to use the light. By doing that, you're going to just guarantee that you're going to get the most amount of life out of the battery, the best performance out of the battery. So this is the solar array. This is a 120 watt light. It has 4 30 watt LED arrays in it. Over here is the on-off button, and this button does just what it says. It'll turn the light on or turn the light off. When you're in close proximity to the light, that's the most convenient way to turn the light on and off. This little sensor here is the radar induction sensor, which the Chinese have called that, but it's a motion detector, folks. And this motion detector has a LED below it that glows green whenever the solar array is illuminated. So now what comes with the light inside the light box? You get a remote control. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. You get a plate here, a backing plate. This is for mounting this to the mounting pole. This is a standard 1.5 inch diameter mount, so you can mount this to plumbing, PVC, iron pipe, whatever you like, that has an 1.5 inch diameter. And it comes with these 4 14 millimeter nuts and bolts for mounting this to the pole. Here is a support post. Now this post is not a real strong post, so for this 120 watt mount, it's considerably heavier than the 60 and the 90. I'm going to use a second plate that comes with this mounting post. And I think this second plate was intended to be used as a backing plate, maybe if you're mounting it to a pole or a square. I don't know if it'd be a 4x4 or 2x4, or if you're just mounting it to framing that you'd want to have a backup plate on it. This would provide a backup for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around like this. I'm going to use it to reinforce the plate that is on the bottom of this tube to give more support, more rigidity to this post than what just this little piece of thin sheet metal can provide. But this is the mounting tube. That's what I'll be putting up today. This comes with some anchors for mounting in concrete. It also comes with some, that looks like about 2-inch nuts and bolts for mounting in various locations. They do not provide lag screws. I like using lag screws in wood. I'm going to be mounting this in a 2x4 header behind the garage sheet metal, and so I'm gonna want to use lag screws. I think these are 1.5 inch. They're 5/16, and they have a 12-inch, or I'm sorry, they have a 12 millimeter head on them. So that's what I'm going to be using to mount these. Endurance Light does not provide those. Now, one of the things about this light I want to tell you about. Normally you'll be using this with the remote, because if the light is up high, you're not going to be able to get to this on-off switch located here. And one of the cool features about the light is if you notice here, there is a function called always. If you turn the light on and click the always button, what will happen is the light will automatically turn on at dusk and it'll automatically turn off at dawn. Now, Whether or not the light will stay illuminated through the whole evening is probably dependent on what season of the year it is. In the summer months, it should have no problem staying on from dusk to dawn. But in the winter months, you could have trouble because of the longer nighttime period. So it's kind of a nice feature. It'll just guarantee that the light is on 100% every night when you walk outside. Now, there's an induction mode here, this little button here. Induction just means motion sensing, and it will sense when a body is present within a close proximity of the light, and the light will automatically turn on to 100%, and after a few seconds of no motion, the light will decrease to 30%. Then there is a 2-hour, 4-hour, 6-hour mode, and it's intuitive what those mean. The light will stay on for 2 hours and then automatically shut off 4 hours, 6 hours. And then there is the on-off button, which will turn, now the instructions say it turns the remote on and off. I don't know how accurate that is. I've noticed it turns the light on and off as well. So there you go. So one of the things you can do to make your job a lot easier before you even think about getting up on the ladder is to pre-assemble this mounting bracket. This is the bracket that tightens against the post like that. And it's a lot easier if you put this on down here rather than trying to do it when you get up there on the ladder. So on the back side, there are hex cutouts in here to accept the head of these bolts. So just stick a bolt in, get it into that little cutout, put a washer on, a nut, and leave about 1/8 of an inch of slop in there just so that you can slide the tube in easily. So there you go. With that done, now you can see that this will be a real easy task. You just slide this over the end of the mounting post and finish tightening those nuts down to secure the project. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this the same height as the one on the right-hand door, which is about 6.5 inches above this piece right here. Okay, then I've got to take my mounting post, and let's see, I think I have a level with me. Go ahead and put that on there. And this is upside down. Right about there. Okay, my 4 holes are marked, and I've got a center punch. I'm going to go ahead and just punch the centers of these. Oops, missed that one. Good deal. All right, so let me grab the mount. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and sandwich these two together here. So it'd be something like that. And this post needs to be angled upward. There are some weep holes in the bottom of each of these lights that allow moisture to drain out. So you want this light to be leaning slightly upward. That is pretty darn sturdy. I really like that. I think that's going to support that 120 watt light really well. You'll see now why it's so important to go ahead and put this hardware on first. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip it over for the beginning of this. And I've got my drill set for low torque. Oh, it's not going to work. It's too shallow. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a relative, I always say. Now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of try to fine tune this. That's pretty good. I won't know for sure till I get down on the ground, but we're going to go ahead and tighten everything up now. You don't need a lot of torque on this, folks. There we go. Good deal. Okay, that's in place. We are ready to test it at night. It probably won't be tonight. I want to let this charge tomorrow yet, and then maybe tomorrow night I'll give it a test, okay? What do you say? Good enough, guys? Well, hi friends. Let's check out this light. I came out a little earlier after it got dark enough for the light itself to be enabled, and I used the remote to set it to induction mode, which is Chinese for motion sense mode. So right now it's in the 30% default state, and let's see what happens when we get closer to it, shall we? There we go. I'm about 30 feet away. It kicked down to 100%. That's the chicken coop right there. Great illumination. I'm going to go ahead and wait. Let's see how long it takes to drop down to 30%. Don't fall asleep out there. Hang in there with me. Coming up on 10 seconds here. There it is, 10 seconds. I'm going to lift my hand. See what happened? I just raised my hand about 90 degrees from my elbow. So it works great, folks. I'm pretty darn excited about that 120 watt light. I don't know about you, but I am. Let's get back to the video. Folks, I'm going to call it quits here. I'm not going to get down and do a closing monologue. I'm just going to say thanks for watching this video. If it helped you out, please give me a like. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. And above all else, I'd love to see you in the comments so that I can engage with you there. And above and above and above all else, be kind out there in your neighborhood. Be kind to people you meet, whether you like them or not. Would you do that, folks? I'll see you in the next video. Over and out.